Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Come Sit With Us. Very happy to have you here with us today, as always. Certainly appreciate you being part of our meditation family, virtual and otherwise. It's all good. Beautiful day today, and so much going on right now that we're going to kind of focus on that for a second. My name is Steve, and I would say that you think you're making it through the pandemic, you think you're making it through the recession, you think you're making it through whatever the next thing is, and then we have war going on, and it's like, my gosh, every time we turn around, there's that next big thing that's happening. And I know, speaking for myself, that if you're kind of fatigued of all of the drama that is around us, the world drama, then I don't blame you. And sometimes we have to kind of take care of ourselves a little bit in the midst of all of this that surrounds us at times. And I think sometimes it's just a matter of taking that next step. That's the name of our video today, is just that next step in our meditation practice. And sometimes those steps are big steps. We commit to a practice, or begin to attend some sessions or whatever it might be. But other times those steps are the small little things that we do throughout the day that kind of keeps us on our meditation track, if you will. And I know that when there's a lot going on around us, that volume of anxiety and whatever just turns up and gets louder and louder and louder. And pretty soon that's almost all that we hear is just that feeling of what's happening next, what's going to happen next. And I think that throughout the day we are provided many opportunities to practice calm abiding. And sometimes all it is really is just in the midst of when you're feeling a little bit anxious, a little bit maybe upset at the guy in front of you at the stoplight, and why doesn't he turn or something, then it gives us that opportunity to remind ourselves, just take a long, slow, deep, cleansing breath and just relax for a second and just kind of chill out. I think that every time we do that, we are rewiring our neural network, our brain, in a sense, in that when that triggering event arises, then sometimes we get the opportunity to make choices, sometimes we just go with it and have that emotional response, right? And then after the fact, we think, I wish I'd made a choice about it. But if we practice that meditative mindset, then when that triggering event occurs, then it allows us to have mindfulness of the opportunity that is there in front of us. And most of the time that's just a matter of taking a half step back and taking a cleansing breath and paying attention. Just really, really paying attention. If you can do that and not let all of those emotional filters distract you, then maybe what happens is you begin to see the world around you in a slightly different way. You're changing your fundamental wiring of perception, if you will. And again, this is just meditative mind that, we practice it on the cushion. We work at developing good meditation techniques and practices. The real work, though, is taking it off of the cushion into work, into the home, into the community, and practicing it there too. And the more that we practice that, the more we develop that meditative mindset. And so throughout the day, what I try to do is allow myself to be open to be reminded that there are times I need to take that cleansing breath. I'm retired now, but when I was working, there would be times in the day where I had to step away from everything because I get so drawn into the drama of something because, you're just wanting to fix it or deal with it or whatever it might be, that I had to consciously step back, physically step back too, and excuse myself and just go take a breath. And then I could come back and see it in a little bit of a different light. And I think that that is a habit that all of us maybe can have the chance to develop a little bit more, right? And so this is the idea that a meditative practice does start off with just putting time aside to get to the cushion, to take a few minutes every day to do formal meditation. Sit down, turn the world off for a second, however you want to say it, and focus on, calming and being mindful and on and so forth. That is the building block, for certain, of the meditative mindset. The trick of it, of course, is how do you apply that? We talk about things like compassion and, resting awareness and all of that. And those concepts, that's what they are. Those concepts are really good reminders for us, but the ability to functionally apply them is where sometimes we may fall a little bit short. And when I dedicate my meditative practice to, let's say, developing that quality of compassion, then I'm kind of faced with sometimes the reality of how much I do judge others and judge myself, really. And that shows me that I need compassion. I need to open myself to that because I've spent a long time developing the mental habits of judging others or being critical of others, being critical of myself too, and what have you. And so we think about, we take one step at a time, and I'm assuming if you're here with us today that you have some kind of concept of you're on a path, and that your meditation practice is a skill set that you are developing to further your way on that path. And sometimes when we consciously realize that we are on this journey, it really is a journey, it really has purpose and meaningfulness and destination, all that kind of stuff, then we have to be very conscious of learning how to take those next steps as the best that we can. And even in the midst of crisis, even in the midst of great anxieties happening around us, we still have to dedicate ourselves to this process of opening ourselves up to that compassion, to that meditative mind, and letting that become a part of our life. Not just a few minutes a day where we sit down and look for it, but where we practice it kind of throughout the day. So today's meditation is a very simple visualization exercise, and it's kind of related to going back to or finding that place where I would call it kind of your home seat in a sense, that place where you feel the most comfortable, where you feel not judged, where you feel accepted, where you feel that you are at peace with yourself. And knowing that place and then stepping into it and eliciting that emotional state, that experience of being at peace, if you will. And I think my experience has been, as I'm sure yours, is that when we do identify with those states, there's a sense of an openness that happens. Usually, at least there's a clarity of mind, a sense of openness occurs, and kind of a heightened awareness unfolds a little bit. And I think we can just touch it a tad, but when we do, we know it for sure. Okay? And so with the meditation today, what we're going to shoot for is think about a place that is sacred to you. This could be a church that you go to, could be a Buddhist meditation place you go to. It could be a tree out in the woods that you go to. It could be a place that you used to go to when you were a kid. Don't know. That felt really safe to you. I think if you give it half a thought, you will immediately know the place and what that means to you. And so today what we're going to do is slow ourselves down, do our breathing, and then visualize that place in front of us, wherever that might be for you, okay? And then imagine just stepping into it and being aware of those feelings of being safe, of being not judged, of the feeling of surrounded by compassion, that is there. And step into that place and just, in a sense, soak it up like a sponge, right? Because sometimes our sponges get a little dry and we need that refueling a little bit. And so just soak it up, and just soak it up, and just soak it up. And hopefully what will happen is we can get to that place and just stand there in that light and just hold it, just for a few minutes. Just hold it, just for a few minutes. Now we practice this over time, and we get better at it, or feel whatever, then we also are able to do that for others, maybe in some way, shape, or form. Because sometimes other people need water in their sponge too. Horrible analogy, but you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll spend about 10 minutes in this. So, all right, if you're in the chair, in a cushion, the first thing that we do is just sit and bring our awareness to our physical body. And as we do that, we just start to breathe a little slower and a little deeper. And start to feel your body beginning to relax. And as it does, perhaps it begins to feel a little more open. Perhaps you can feel where you've held on to stress, where you're tight. And you just allow yourself to breathe. And with each breath, you just open yourself more and more. We'll start off with a simple body scan. And as we breathe in, just focus on the base of your spine and allow it to open up and to relax. And with each breath, it opens up more and more. And then we shift our attention up to our stomach. our lower back. We take a breath, and we allow this to open, to relax, to release. Take another breath in and bring our attention up to our heart, in between our shoulder blades, our chests. And with each breath, we allow this to open, to relax. Shift our attention up to our forehead. We allow our brow to relax, our jaw to relax. Just allow this to open, to relax, to release. Now we're going to take a few minutes to imagine a place that is sacred to us, to see it in detail with clarity, to feel the presence of what it's like to step into that place, and just to stand there in that light. And this is where we allow ourselves just that bit of time just to recharge our battery and feel that light, that sacredness surround us. take a deep breath. Open your eyes. And just for a moment, let's imagine that we're still standing in that sacred place. And using our mind's eye, we can see it there in front of us, around us, just for a second. And so this is a great exercise just to kind of recharge yourself, because it's okay to do that, you know. I know that we all are compassionate people. We all want to help others and pray for others, but sometimes we just need to do something for ourselves, and that's all right to do, you know. So the exercise of visualizing a sacred place that's unique to you is actually a very strong exercise if you pursue it to a little degree. Just try it, you know. And it's not a bad way to start off your normal meditation practice, you know. Maybe your normal meditation practice is following breath, or, you know, whatever it might be is fine. But think about, you know, this of just standing in your sacred place just for a second, and what that feels like around you. And then hopefully what can happen is that next time we are out in the wild, as they say, you know, in the community, at home, at work, wherever it might be, and we want to take a second to remind ourselves to take that deep breath and to practice that meditative mind. Maybe just for a second, just visualize that sacred place that you stand in, and just see what that feels like, you know, for a second. And, you know, maybe it provides us enough presence of mind to see the world a little bit differently around us, and see what happens. So I hope this has been of some help to you, of some benefit to you. I think that, you know, all the Facebook Live meditations that EBS provides is, of course, a service that we bring to the community and try to be of some help in a time of need, which I think we are in. You know, that's what it is. So, all right, guys, thank you again for being part of our EBS family, part of our meditation family. We are very much appreciate your support throughout all these times, and it's been a great blessing for all of us. So thank you, guys, and we will see you next time around. Take care. Bye.